Hello and welcome, people of the internet. Starshot Sky here to stream for you some more Dota 2. And today I'm pretty much at least want to just touch a little bit on this for those who don't know. Stan Lee, the man who's started quite the generation and has been going on for as long as he can, uh, has finally passed after 95 years of bringing joy and you know, and for just making the impact that he did into everyone, just thanks to Marvel Comics. A lot of it was thanks to him that it exists as it is now, and for the most part. And of course, he became somewhat of an icon with his famous cameos that he's done in a lot of different media. So I dedicate this stream to a great man who sadly has passed, but his legacy will never be forgotten. El Excelsior, as he liked to say. And, but let's go ahead and get some matches started. As you see, I'm still kind of picking my way through, trying to make my way back to where I was before, still sticking to the off lane. Because, people need an off laner. Just as much as they need the supports, of course. Yeah, as you can see, I'm a bit behind with these last few losses, but I should hopefully be able to make up for that in the future here. We'll see. It all depends on kind of what you go up against. Chaos Knight has definitely been one that kind of keeps appearing, and he's always kind of annoying to deal with, just because of how much damage he can do, and then his teleport and how he brings all his illusions together to, whack people on the head. So definitely not something you'd rather see. But hey, at least we only got 6 more days before the next update finally hits. We'll finally be in version 7.2, which will hopefully see a lot of changes and updates to the game. And we'll kind of see what that entails. But for now, we'll just have to enjoy what we have and see kind of where things go from there. Hmm. Yeah, I guess I'll be curious to see kind of how long it takes before they update into like, 8.0. Since I guess I wasn't even sure when it became 6.0 or when it became 7. Well, that at least is a bit more obvious, but it's one of those things. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of unless you've been, noticing that throughout the entire time. And for those who don't know, I did recently get a haircut if it wasn't obvious. Uh, I usually like to, grow my hair out a little bit, but then once it gets kind of after 2 months, I usually get a haircut to shorten it a bit, makes it a bit easier to manage. And I was hoping that I would, finally get my match, but it looks like it's taking a while. But I guess lately I've been kind of a bit, just kind of, trying to play some heroes, and I'm curious what other heroes I could play in the off lane. Like if I should maybe try an intelligence hero that I could off lane with. Because I know Lena and Lion are pretty good with their stuns and disables and burst damage. They're especially strong against certain heroes that tend to cause a lot of trouble unless you kill them right away. So like Morph is a big one. You know, pretty much trying to rely on damage over time to kill Morph doesn't really work as well because then it just gives him time to use his Essence Shift, which then tries to help him, you know, recover and increase his health pool. So supposedly Grimstruck, I think, has been in the offlane before, but I'm curious, like, who I could play as that isn't a support role. I guess Batrider might be one with how he is. Ogre Magi, I could sort of see somewhat, but he does take a few different items needed to kind of start working, since he needs a decent sized mana pool. And then of course he needs to eventually get the Aghanim staff, which, you know, grants him Unrefined Blast. And then you also have to feel that you're pretty lucky in terms of trying to okay, Fire Blast does get its cooldown decreased and its ranged increased, so that does help. And then of course there's the chance. Of course, sadly you don't really get, like, as you can see, uh, the 2 times is at least more likely because it's 60%. But after that, then you know, then it kind of decreases a bit on what chances you would have it going 3 times or even 4 times. You know, so don't always think you're gonna get a 4 times chance to happen unless you do it a lot. But that's probably what the cooldown reduction is for. Being able to get it 6, or being able to do it every 6 seconds can be pretty powerful. I'm not sure if you could play him as an offlaner or not. He is tanky enough, and if he can get the, you know, right items, he could, you know, potentially do a lot of damage, especially if you're lucky. But as I said, I think maybe Lena or Lion might be a bit better suited for that. Maybe even Zeus sometimes. Depending on what you're up against, of course, it's always a question. I felt like with Necro, you know, I had trouble trying to play his range right. Like, he's a bit hard to kind of play, you know, as up close and personal. Because that's sort of, you know, since he doesn't have very long range, but he's still considered a range tank. I'm trying to think what else. I guess there's Queen of Pain or Puck, maybe even Silencer sometimes. Like, it's hard to tell. With most intelligence heroes, they're usually more support or a mid laner. You know, but I'm not sure how many are off lane other than Necros. I'll take a quick look, see kind of what the consensus is among all these people. Among all the people of Dota 2. Oh, here we go. There's Offlane Heroes 7.19, so. Okay, apparently the top 5 is Phoenix, Wind Ranger, Axe, Pudge, and Crystal Maiden. Is the top 5 at least, especially played in the big, you know, MMR, or the fairly high MMR. Then there's Treant Protector. Oh yeah, Phoenix still, Wind Ranger. Part of the top 10, Necros Protector, We're on a Dark Willow, Enchantress. So a few heroes here and there, but nothing I'm really that interested in and trying to play as much. I try to at least see kind of what people are saying for the most part, but I do feel like just about anyone can be in the off lane, as long as you kind of know how you're playing it and you have some decent range or decent survivability. You know, like when you think about Ricky, you wouldn't consider him an offlaner, but with how squishy he is, but because of his invisibility, and if you can play him right, he can be hard to kill. Like, I wouldn't mind trying to play the offlane with Lion or Lena, but they're normally considered support heroes because, you know, they don't need as much gold to work alright, for the most part. I have played PA as an offlane, and that's worked out a few times here and there, mostly because she does have pretty good range, and she's kind of like a backup. So maybe I'll do like I guess I could always try Phantom Lancer in the offlane, just to see if I get people to kind of try and counter me or something like that.
10 seconds remaining.
I'll go ahead and refresh her challenges at least. But I also try to consider kind of what heroes are we up against and kind of how best to deal with them. Okay, so we already got one who just went Weaver. So the biggest thing with him would be to be able to kind of silence him, really. Both PA and PL wouldn't really be able to do much against him for the most part. Ricky would at least have a better chance, but of course someone just went and picked Bristleback, which is really bad for him. So I may consider playing something else to deal with that. Trying to think if Slark would be any good or not. But Slark always has had trouble. Sadly I haven't had much luck with Dragon Knight.
Your turn to pick.
Bloodseeker maybe? Nah, I don't really feel like Blood would be able to do it. I guess technically Slark would at least be alright just to deal with Bristleback.
5 seconds remaining. Your turn to pick.
I think getting a... Let's see, what kind of spells would I be dealing with? See, I have the target by Keeper. There's that. Oh yeah, definitely to be able to cancel out our friend Jug's attack would actually be pretty powerful. Actually, does that cancel? I guess is the question. Or would it just simply ignore the first one but then continue on? I don't see much reason to give a mango to Slark though. I think I should be alright with this team up, or with this team. I think it's a decent one. Yeah, I don't like. Oh yeah, I guess the mango's mostly for the regen. And I think picking up a wand would be pretty good too for this, for especially with Bristleback on their team.
Oh, this one's in the bag. It's in the bag.
Prepare for battle.
So definitely getting a Shadow Blade or into a Silver Edge would be good to deal with Bristleback, but there's also the passive on Jug, the passive on our friend Weaver, and also the one on Sniper. And thanks to that, and thanks to Sniper being around, I should be able to kind of do something with that. I'll probably keep to the pounce, since I don't think I could get a kill if Weaver was bot, and it would be hard trying to do the same to Jug.
30 seconds to battle.
I'd mostly think they put Sniper in mid with how kind of this might go. Yeah, it's Jug.
Battle begins.
But until I get a bit more move speed, I'm guessing I'm not going to be able to do much. But the Essence Shift can be pretty powerful, especially if I can get some more time to have it. Okay, so we do got Keeper of Light here. He's mostly annoying because of his mana drain and his light, blinding light. I was surprised that I didn't really get much, you know, from any of the my teammates here. There we go. Probably should have seen if I could have made it the angle, but There we go. So we got plenty of creeps thanks to that little build up there.
I got this one. Yeah. Yeah. I see it.
Actually, I guess I don't really have to worry about Keeper too much since I can dispel it as long as I play my cards right. It's kind of surprising I haven't dealt with too much resistance yet. Of course, that's the only problem with dealing with Jug is he can dispel stuff. For the most part, this Jug isn't too aggressive.
Right through here.
Oh, cool. Our Invoker did pretty well there. Hmm. Darn it. Darn it. I was hoping I could have catched him, but... Ah, great. We're dealing with a more aggressive Keeper.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I guess I'm trying to think how much it would help to have an Orchid, because I know that's played with sometimes, but I guess it's usually used on like not Storm Spirit. That's it.
That's right.
And until I hit level 6, I won't have the Shadow Dance yet.
I denied every one of their creeps that last wave.
Feels good.
I forget what the cooldown on that is.
We're winning every lane.
So every 18 seconds would be the lowest. Darn it. Don't have enough attack speed just yet. Since I didn't deal with bristleback in my lane, I don't really feel like I need to pick that up.
You sure?
Snipers here.
This way.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well done.
Right through here.
Yeah, sadly, Essence Shift doesn't really do that much for you until you get a bit more speed to go with it.
I'll be out of this mess in no time.
I can't get there.
It don't matter.
I see it. After him. Come on. I won't hurt you. Yeah.
Kind of annoyed with the healing ward, but there's not much I can do about it.
I'm gonna use Shrine. I don't know if you guys want it or not.
No. Just collecting stacks on my wand.
Over here.
Oh yeah, I meant to get one of those. Whoops.
It's a beater.
Oh.
Yeah, kicked a bristleback's ass and lane without a stick.
Well done.
Nice one. Take that. Bring a little fish.
Yeah, nighttime's kind of one of the better times for Slark, since
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'd rather try to gank sniper once I have my Shadow Blade here, which I almost have right now.
This way. Don't get caught.
Weaver's here.
Then you think
Well, that was close. Well,
Routing
that's
vision.
the thing about Slark. He can easily avoid moves like that, so...
Oh, beauty.
Your top tower is under attack. This'll kill him.
Oh, I got dust.
Is under attack.
You guys don't need me, right?
Who? No. Game is done. Oh, almost got him.
Enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh, don't die.
No bash, feels bad. That's why I didn't want to use Dome Bristle in the first place, but I felt bad just having it on, like, cooldown, you know?
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh hey, I actually got a kill out of that somehow.
You guys wrap around, take mid.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Weird, I don't remember where I got the kill on. There we go. Well, yeah, for the most part, this seems like a cinch right now. Or a kind of guaranteed win at this point.
Wait till you have Silver Edge. Oh. Waiting for all three of you to go down there.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah,
close.
it was really close. As I was doing, I was like, man, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, I
So
kept
bad.
trying to wait for the quills to unstack. Really annoying.
Yeah. The plan.
My rune's coming up.
I guess I'm trying to think now, because supposedly I need to have Lincoln Sphere. There we go. And now I can finally work on Essence Shift, really. But yeah, picking up Silver Edge would be really good.
Right through here. That's right.
Yeah, they definitely have that warded.
Nice one.
Yep.
This way. I see.
Radiant structure.
Well, he got plenty of stacks, didn't he?
I'll take that.
But thankfully I
Might
can
as well take it.
heal up.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Necros just got a kill on Sniper again. Poor Sniper. Gotta need to keep healing up if you want to survive.
Don't get caught.
I'll go ahead and pick up my orb here.
Don't get caught.
Just take a little while outside to heal up. Just take a little while outside to heal up. Da 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 da.
Alright guys, let's try to make sure that we're staying focused on hitting objectives and shit.
Take shrines and runes. Or just do that.
So yeah, we pretty much took care of that. Yeah, I guess for the most part, I don't really think getting a Leaking Sphere would help out much here.
Oh, this is going swimmingly. Good. You sure?
Yeah, there goes CM. Yeah, sadly, it doesn't feel like there's much for us to do. You know, I just made sure I didn't die, and that's all I really needed to do. And that we pretty much were able to keep pushing out Jug, so he couldn't really farm it well either. You know, since Slark is pretty good at trying to catch Sniper, try to catch Weaver if he tries to run away without using something. I'll give some commands to Invoker and Ogre since, you know, I think they both deserve it. You know, yeah, so for the most part we all kind of did what we needed to do, and Weaver sadly couldn't do much even though he's a legend. You know, yeah, it's as you can see, 21 kills in only 30 in almost 30 minutes, and they only had 8 kills. So they never really got any kills on me at all. They killed Invoker once. They got 2 kills on Ogre, 2 kills on Chrono, and then 3 on, you know, CM, who is a bit more squishy, and she was alone that one time. So we did pretty well in making sure we didn't die, and they're also both, most of them are squishy. Their only tank really is Bristle, and somehow he died 9 times. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. He was probably a bit too aggressive in his offlane. But oh well, what can you do? So not too bad of a first match. Let me just go get some water, get a bathroom break, and we can get right back to it. Alright, let's get back to it. So, as I said, a pretty good first match. Even though I went as Slark, things went pretty well and we were able to avoid, any major issues in our offlane. The Jug definitely was fairly well, not as aggressive as I've seen other Jugs. Like, I could have seen him try to get a kill once or twice on me as Slark, since his Blade Fury does do more damage than my regular attacks, even with Essence Shift. But being able to steal all the stats does help a little. But yeah, so it was fortunate that both Invoker and even our top lane, the safe lane, really were able to do as well as they did. Hopefully we'll be able to continue. Like, I wouldn't mind trying to go Slark again. Like, even though I had some decent stats for that part, it did feel like there wasn't really much need for me overall. Like, I was someone who could absorb some damage and stay alive, and that was kind of it. Like, I think that's kind of the issue, is knowing when to commit and when to back off. Because that's kind of how Slark sort of needs to play. He's sort of like, if he's in a bad situation when he's getting low on health and he can't, survive, or he's gonna die, then you just simply need to run away and try and recover. And of course, during Shadow Dance, you'll be able to attack as well as avoid, as long as they don't have any AoE. But Bristle and Keep to the Light do have AoE moves, as well as Jug when he does Blade Fury, so always be careful of that. And then of course that's kind of the thing about him, even though he's an agility hero, one of his abilities, Shadow Dance, of course can do a little bit more. Let's see, where is the stats here? Here we go. Yeah, the idea with this is health gained per second. So the more health you have, the more health you'll gain per second back. So when used, Slark hides himself in a cloud of shadows, becoming immune to detection. Attacking, casting spells and using items will not reveal Slark. Passively, when not visible to the enemy team, Slark gains bonus movement speed and health regen. So pretty much, if you're able to get back and heal up, then you can just jump right back in and keep fighting. So I wouldn't mind trying to see him with Aghanim Staff and how well that would work. So I guess while I'm waiting to find a match, I can do a quick demo here and at least try and see what that looks like.
Don't get caught. Now that's payback.
Prepare for battle.
Here we go.
Oh, scepter. You sure?
Okay, so it does show up a little bit more around him when he uses it, so yeah, reduces cooldown and causes Shadow Dance active to be an area of effect ability hiding nearby allied heroes underneath it. Otherwise, it's every 60 seconds that you can use it. So the cooldown is pretty nice, actually. The other part to it, though, would be kind of a question. Like, you would have to you would have to coordinate with your team to use it. And I'm trying to see what were... So there's agility and strength. Yeah, usually I go with attack speed, because the whole point of... Like, lifesteal doesn't do as much for you, because you'd rather be able to just attack as quickly as you can and just have a lot of health. There aren't too many times when you're trying to outfight someone. And then of course there's the pack damage or pounds, but you'd rather keep your enemies around. And then the last one of course is the shadow dance or essence shift duration. So depending on what you're going for, I guess the essence shift is pretty powerful, being able to keep all your agility for an extra 120 seconds over just one more second of shadow dance. I can see kind of why that way kind of works out a bit better. So, but now the duration's 4 seconds. So, and that's kind of the thing. You can't really, sadly, demo it out too well with ally heroes, as far as I recall. But let's see. So usually you get that, you get that.
But I've been wanting to say that since this all began.
Yeah, it's just good to try and see kind of how exactly things would work out with him for this. Yeah, so as you can see, the more he attacks, the bigger he gets. To the point where he can be pretty powerful, even if it does take him a while, but that's kind of why having the Abyssal Blade, Silver Edge. So yeah, I guess the Aghanim Staff is more or less mostly for his ultimate. I'm not sure how much he would try to use his Scepter or his ability to hide nearby ally heroes underneath it too often. Like, it could be good when you're kind of running in, or when you're trying to escape with your team. If you keep them close, you can get them out of dangerous trouble so that they're not hurt either. So I wouldn't mind trying to do something with that, actually. I can only seem to attack at point 3. Or at least that's what it looked like, but I wasn't sure how high I could get it to go. Well, he also gains more armor with it too.
5 seconds remaining. Your turn to
Actually, I think I've seen the Gankling guy before.
Ten seconds remaining.
Okay, so there he is as that again. So we got Shadow's Shaman.
Your turn to pick.
And Nature's Prophet.
Seconds remaining.
Well, yeah, we had a CM, but he went that instead. It's always annoying when people don't seem to pick when they should. Well, we'll see how well this goes. I'll probably just work on this now at this point, since I don't always seem to get what I need most of the time. Would Medusa be the better one for our friend Terrorblade here? If I knew they would go at Terrorblade, I might have picked up Sven instead, but oh well. Technically in this case, it's at least I would avoid the Sunder and be able to probably do damage to him. And of course our mid doesn't seem to be wanting to pick right now. Okay, that's weird. So where's the Ursa gonna go? Is he really gonna be offlane? Yeah, this is gonna be really annoying because we have both a Medusa and an Ember. So they're gonna require a whole buttload of gold. If they're gonna be able to fight this team at all.
Ricky here. It's in the bag.
Prepare for battle.
Since you put it like that.
I hope Medusa and Ember are really good at farming, because you're gonna need a lot of it.
Like a whisper. Quietly now.
At least as Ricky, all I really need are my boots and my diffusal blade, and I can start killing people normally. But, so, my biggest targets really are Shaman, Prophet, and Punga. I'll definitely want to go for Terrorblade, but Ursa's can be hard to deal with.
Dispatched. Here I am.
The battle begins.
Whom shall I kill? Defend yourself.
Well, at least she got a good arrow there, so that should help.
Oh, as you bid.
It looks like Orange went top. So who's mid then
Smoke.
against Ember here?
Your top tower is under attack.
Ah, great.
Quickly. Whisper.
super close.
Post haste. I sprint.
Yeah, I'll need to pick up smoke as an early one so either one of us can, you know, stop his channeling.
You're mine now. Like a whisper.
And of course my support went and ran away to top.
Yes.
Yeah, let me go pick up my boots at least.
As you bid. Since you do that. At your service. Quickly.
Yeah, thanks to the hatchet, he's...
Your middle tower is under attack.
Here I am.
at least being able to get those last hits he needs in.
I grow stronger. Oh, look, it's me. Yes. As you bid. Quietly now. Quiet as cats.
Look, I know Medusa died early, but that doesn't mean you need to tri-lane top.
Post haste. Dispatched. I sprint.
Runes?
A tool to teach.
Now. Quiet as cat's feet. Post haste.
This is the only problem with dealing with, you know, your lane on your own against someone who kind of holds down people to kill them and can give their hero enough time after he transforms to try and kill you. You know, you have to play cautiously, especially since they're not that big on sentries, thankfully, or they would have gotten a lot more kills on me by now.
Dispatched. Yes.
This is also the other problem. If, you know, and the other hero is really good at what he does, then there's not much you can do about him.
Feel my steel. Quickly.
Well, that was a decent try, but no cigar. Could I get a gank bot? Terrorblade's already level 7.
I'll come and give you a hand for a bit. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, this is a hard lane.
Quietly now.
Medusa, I'm gonna be bot for a bit. Just shout if you want me top. Get these runes.
As you bid. Whom shall I kill?
I'll definitely need to get my jump much earlier, or to make sure I keep leveling up Blink Strike here if I want to be able to actually get out of those trees. And have the mana to be able to actually do stuff.
Your bottom tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack.
We got 3 bot.
I'm gonna throw a ward by Roche and then I'll be right back.
They're all pushing. Thanks, Ember.
Quietly now.
And that's what happens when your team actually helps you.
Quiet as cat's feet.
You know, thankfully Ember was able to get his move off, or he knows what he's doing with it.
Coming back top, Dusa.
But I don't think I can take on Sunder or Terrorblade just yet.
Top.
They're really pushing towers, aren't they?
Good trade.
Yeah, we keep kind of going back and forth with creeps here. And of course I'm concerned I'm gonna die just from that because of Prophet here. Prophet's pushing bot.
Quickly, quickly.
I'll keep saving up here. Yeah, they seem to have the little wards where they need them, don't they? And they're really strong at pushing. Since they have Shadow Shaman, Punga, and Terrorblade. And not Nature's Prophet. He's another one, isn't he? Okay, at least Metamorphosis is down now. How is he full health?
Your bottom barracks are under attack.
I really hope Medusa's getting big here, because they're pretty much trying to win very, very early. With how hard they just push things there and what synergy they have with their team. Until I get a bit more damage, I'm gonna be able to do jack squat. We're into a full hard push, but it would be good if we could get some gold from towers.
Quickly, quickly.
That was weird.
Like that. As
Well, at least I took care of Prophet. I did not mean to pick up that TP scroll. Sorry, got a Shadow Blade. Wait, how do you... Wouldn't think his channel could continue if he lost sight, but... Yeah, nothing I can do against that. I would just die. Ah, crap. They just had to do that right then and there, didn't they? Well, that was a bad swing there.
Your top tower.
And of course none of our supports picked up any sentries for Shadow Blader here.
Your bottom barracks are under attack.
Well, with both Ember and Medusa, we should be able to keep them from doing stuff like this so far, but...
Your top shrine is under attack. Your top shrine is under attack.
But it doesn't really look good if we're at the 20-minute mark and we've already lost our
Your
racks.
shrine is under attack.
And most of our gold needs to go to our carries if we're gonna survive at all.
Your top tower has fallen. Another put down. Your bottom barracks are under attack.
quickly, quickly. Here I am.
Yeah, it does not bode well for Ricky if he has to take 20 minutes to get his second biggest item.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Or that he gets ganked by an Ursa.
Your bottom shrine is under attack.
I'm not quite sure why Terrorblade gets such attack speed so quickly.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
not good. He really needs his 25 to be able to do 2 slide assists there. I'm not. Yeah, I don't think he really needs true strike at least, but sadly, I don't seem to get much chance, because before I do, I get stunned right away. So, sadly, this has not been a good game for me. I feel like picking up a Heaven's Halberd at this point. Just to stop them from attacking for a little bit, hopefully.
Post haste. See no evil. Here I am. Quickly, quickly.
Well, they definitely have a ward or something. Yeah, you're dead. Or you would be if he didn't save you there. But yeah, I definitely need to pick up Heaven's Halberd here. And he definitely needs to get his next one, because every chance would then make it so that he does 25 damage. And Prophet's doing his thing. Careful.
Just ratting us.
Feel like I also need to get my own Mjolnir just to try and deal with all the ratting, or all the waves. I feel like the miss rate on this should be a bit higher. Feels like there's not much I can do until there's a team fight, really.
Quickly, quickly. Since you put it like that.
He's getting a bit more HP, will try to keep me alive, but...
Radiant structures offline.
Well, at least we were able to deal with that push they tried to give. I need to heal up.
Your top barracks are under attack.
Now it's on. Quickly. As you bid.
Really could use my blink strike too, just to move around a bit faster.
Who shall I kill? Oh, as you bid. Quickly, quickly. Quiet as a cat's feet. I grow strong. At your service.
At least I got a kill on Shadow Shaman there.
Here I am. Silent smoke.
If I knew I was picking up a Sanj, I probably would have gone for that other quest instead.
I sprint.
Yeah, always use Bloodlust. We're gonna need it for everyone here.
Post haste. Dispatched. Like a whisper.
Damn it, what the hell? Well, there goes, yeah, that's the biggest problem with Terrorblade. The only burst damage we have is really from Ogre and, you know, both Ogre and Marana. Unless you have your ult, you're not gonna stop them. Yeah. Seriously? You're gonna blame me on this, huh? Yeah, don't even try to put this on me, Ember. After 2 minutes, my support left. And I was all alone against the Shaman and Terror. You know, it's all the draft, because you know, both Medusa and Ember need a lot of gold to be able to carry it all. And their team is some of the strongest pushers in the game. I'm not saying it's anyone's fault, I think it's just the draft, because they have a super pusher team compared to our draft.
Wasn't dead, just invisible. If I'd known I'd end up here, I'd have stayed in Dark Reef Prison.
Well, yeah, the team comp we had, like Ember apparently got the most kills out of us, but of course, you know, I barely got any farm, as we can see here, with me only with 8k, which is pretty sad compared to all the other ones here, as we see here. And Medusa was pretty bad. Well, like, for the most part, she knew what she was doing. She could at least do stuff, but as I said, we went with two of the biggest money sinks you could, you know, have for a draft against a team whose whole purpose is to just push and push and push. Might as well be having a baby, because they would have be able to do triplets or something. I don't know. It's just one of those games where it's nothing's really gonna go your way with how things turned out. And it doesn't help that our mid player was AFK, so he just went and picked with whatever he picked right away. And that Ursa is kind of bad for Medusa, and so is Terrorblade is bad for Medusa, because the only way to deal with Terrorblade is to kill him before he can sunder at all. So you either need lots of disables or high burst damage. And none of us really do that very well. Like, the closest to burst damage would be, you know, Marana or Ogre. That's about it. Ugh. And of course, I'm still having issue with drop frames, which is really annoying. It'd be nice if some players look at what things are going and not try to blame people. Like, you should first look at what the team you're dealing with is and how your team is, and then figure out if there's someone to place blame on. You know, was there someone who died a lot? Was there someone who just couldn't fight or was a bad pick? Like, if you look at numbers here, the people who died the most was our support, uh, and me, the offlaner who was alone and was, you know, was one of the easiest targets to go for because of how squishy I am. But, and or just because of them and actually being able to ward against me fairly well, you know, compared to our supports. You know, sadly couldn't do the same as well, but that's mostly because, you know, you're dealing with their two supports who one's a pretty much a ratter and the other just pushes towers and buildings ridiculously. And their mid hero who knows what he's doing and also can push towers, since his big ability can damage them pretty well. So, and he was also able to help save his friends. And then of course just the counters with Terror and Ursa. You know, Medusa was a horrible pick for these two especially. Let's see. If we look at who picked when, we can see Medusa picked 8th. So the next two was our Ember Spirit and then Ursa. So Ursa was another one, but when did Terra? Terra picked 7th. So once he picked Terror, he should have foregone going with Medusa. Because Medusa is not that is definitely not someone who can deal with Terror. You think he could, but not really, no. Because she doesn't do a lot of damage. At least not without a lot of gold and a lot of time. You know, like her big thing really is the Petrify. But people don't seem to realize this, but Petrify isn't as great as it could be. Especially if people can actually micromanage their illusions well enough to avoid getting hit by it. So both PL and Terrorblade don't really suffer that much from Medusa at all, even with her cleave. Like, Sven is a lot better because he does a lot of damage. He does tons of damage very quickly compared to Medusa. So Sven would have been a much better pick if you wanted to try and deal with Terrorblade. And then Ember definitely wasn't a good pick to go with either because he's also very much the same way. He's janky, so he has a lot of survivability, but he doesn't do a lot of damage without a lot of items. And enough about that. Let me get some water, stretch my legs a little, try and cool down a bit, and then we can get another match in and hopefully have a much better draft than that last one. Well, let's go ahead and give this a try again. Definitely one of the annoying parts when you deal with a losing game that kind of is sadly lost from the outset. Like normally in the draft, if even if you even if things go badly or they kind of pick counters for you, if you can play just right or if they're maybe not as good with them as you would think, then you can try and make a comeback against them. Like it's usually there are three parts to any game of Dota. The first is the draft. That's usually, I would say, about 60% of a reason why a team wins or not is pretty much in the draft. Then the next 20% would go to how the team plays, as a group and individually, how well you play. And then the last 20% is what items you build. Like depending on the items you build, can be if the match will either turn in your favor or continue winning you the match. And so for the most part, it all depends on what your plan is. For example, the last match that of course we were dealing with, you could see we're dealing with a very pushing team. Like they're very good at pushing. We have a support who looks like was going to go with staff, but didn't really go with. Yep, I'm still sticking with offlane, Ancient Secret. I feel like that's kind of where I know what to do best, and I can experiment a little bit here and there, but overall I'm pretty good in it for the most part. It's just kind of how my playstyle works. But as you can see, Nature's Prophet here, he also was mostly focused on pushing. And apparently that's what he mostly does. So, but he kind of got the items for it with Desolator and Shadowblade. Then of course we have Terrorblade, who he just carries. That's all he needs to worry about. And then someone else who pushes as well, but either way, it's there. As you can see, this is very much a pushing team with these three for the most part. But yeah, and we probably had we could deal with team fights well enough, but the issue became uh, like we pretty much couldn't really get to the point where we needed to win. They just won so much earlier than we could hope to match. And that's kind of what you have to deal with in some games. Going for the rush tactic. Trying to win as early as possible sometimes. And Ricky is someone who can start owning if he does well enough and gets his items, the items he needs to be able to gank people. But they were pretty much 5-manning by the 10-minute mark. And at that point, it's really hard to deal with when the rest of your team is still trying to get their items to be able to do anything. But let's see if we can change that around with this next match here.
Your turn to ban.
Well, at least someone already banned a anti-mage for me. I always find them pretty annoying, especially if they get the farm they need.
Your turn to pick.
Feel like going Wraith King, since I haven't in these last two matches. But we'll see if I still go Wraith King or not. I always try to change things up depending on the team, of course. So, but definitely don't want to go Bristleback, because Bristleback always has issues with Silencer. And we'll see if what safe lane and mid lane will go with here. Oh hey, they got an alchemist. Is there someone else that would be better suited for him, or? I guess the big thing with alchemist is just burst damage. And I guess Wraith King can do that if he gets a crit. You know, but he also has to make sure he can do enough damage, so a Desolator would really help with that.
10 seconds remaining.
So I think I'll still go Wraith King though, because it at least avoids some of the stuff Silencer does. And at least I won't have to worry about mana with CM around. Oh hey, wow. So I think we're dealing with Visage. Okay, and they just picked up PL, so I guess maybe I think Alchemist would probably be relegated to offlane then.
Your turn to pick.
Well, I guess she can go drop if she wants. I'm not sure, like, since we're not really going with the range. We could use someone for PL. But oh well. We'll see how all this goes. I'll see if I can get this challenge worked out or not. But yeah, so we're definitely gonna have issues with PL if he gets big enough, of course, but we also have to watch out for Visage and Alchemist. They're definitely both very early game heroes. So that'll be the kind of, at least with Sniper, he might be able to out him, but he really needs to pick up a 4-staff right away. Or in Silver Edge. Oh, that was weird. Not sure why I'm not hearing any of the usual music trying to build this up.
It's Wraith King, not Rage King.
And of course we have someone who gets Diffusal Blade, so I'm gonna have issues with PL. So this is definitely one of the games where I would need to pick up either Mjolnir or our old friend Battle Fury. One of the two. At least for future PL. That's kind of the next one there, but I'm not quite sure what to go for yet. Yeah, I guess I'd rather go Battle Fury most of the time, because as strong as the speed from Mjolnir is, I sort of feel like it's a bit lacking in being able to do instantaneous damage. I feel like the time it takes for Mjolnir to travel and do its damage isn't quick enough compared to just getting a Battle Fury. And it also scales well with Wraith King and his crit, of course. Oh, cool. They got Veno. And CM dies, but oh well. That's, you know, as long as we get first blood, that gives us a better advantage. So I guess I'll probably go ahead and pick up the hatchet just to try and get, just to be able to hit out last hit PL here. Of course, we need to also keep an eye on Silencer and try and gank him when we have the chance. He'll be a bit easier to deal with. When we get the chance. There, at least I have my Mortal Strike now, so... Man, did Silencer already have to run away? Oh, there he is up top.
Your king is here. Prostrate yourself. Moves of his own accord.
Your top tower is under attack.
Oh well. Probably go ahead and pick up my boots here. At least we're giving him plenty of grief. Yeah, I'd want to get at least some revive here. Even in the off lane, I still think yeah, you gotta be careful, Ogre. You can't aggro heroes too much or the tower hits you back.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, we're not gonna get him, Ogre. Yeah, if he was gonna go somewhere, he would have gone this way to avoid us. Or he just TP'd out. Well, let me go ahead and finish off my boots here.
Tis your honor. Prostrate yourself. As you advise.
There we go. There we go. Is he really that much faster than me? Darn it. Always the jukes in the forest. Damn it. Thought we would have had him there. I need more damage. Of course, I just needed my ultimate too, which would have helped. Yeah, definitely the speed boost from Ogre really does help.
Who's in charge here? Prostrate yourself. As you advise. By my decree.
There we go. And I also have enough to finally get my first part of my Battle Fury here.
Your king moves of his own. Submit to the Wraith King's rule. By any measure. Forced to yourself.
We took frickin' both towers without anyone stopping us. Wow. Did not expect that to happen.
So what if I swagger?
Your bottom tower is
Oh
under
yeah, let's
attack.
go ahead and pick up that. So, oh, and Alchemist is here trying to kill Sniper.
Behold your king.
That was pretty lucky. Darn it. Don't have Battle Fury yet or my speed. So I'm not gonna be able to do much just yet. But we did get Alchemist and Venge, so I think that went pretty well. Yeah, we're pretty much done here, so I think we should just focus on bot and top or mid now.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Looks like they're all bot right now, at least 3 of them are.
Tis I. So what if I swagger?
Oh cool, I got a level.
Sound you are in my
I
presence.
don't almost have enough for my Void Stone.
Wise counsel. I'll consider it. Always at my
Your middle
There we go.
is under attack.
king is here.
There we go. Now that I have that, should be able to not worry about PL anymore. They're not being very protective of their towers, are they? Oh, darn it. Was not expecting the mud golem. Well, at least I got him. But I definitely could use a bit more attack speed since I can't always rely on Ogre to do it.
Of his own accord.
I haven't seen PL. Apparently he's mid right now, though. Yeah, pretty much Ogre Magi's buff is really, really helpful. Yeah, Sniper's really, really helpful in this case. Trying to deal with our friend and his little minions. With how quick they kind of move.
War is torn.
But yeah, we should probably just take all their towers at this point. Yeah, definitely not quite at the level I need to yet for that, but... Oh, look, he almost got away.
By my decree. Wise counsel.
Yep, sadly the only ones who benefit from my life bar are Ogre and myself now at this point. Kind of funny. You know, in the last match, we pretty much got steamrolled with how early the other team was able to push. But here we are, at 20 minutes, and we've already just destroyed their racks. I think just like that last team did, actually.
I'll take that.
I guess now I'll maybe work on the Desolator. Actually, I guess I don't think. Yeah, the Desolator doesn't really work with cleave, does it?
Keep your thoughts to yourself.
Your middle tower.
Yeah, it supposedly does 40% of my attack damage. So I wonder if it'd be better just to simply pick up an MKB for more damage if I wanted. Ah, so close. Why is Drower Ranger... Oh, that's why. She was invisible for a second there, but... Alchemist did the funny thing of, hey, I'll just explode the stun move in my face and that should do it, right? Also, apparently they haven't even hit a single tower. Like this one, let's see, bot, mid. So yeah, bot and mid are both the lowest in damage right now. Damn it. Looks like I'll need more speed. Also, why the heck is he level 18? I don't see how that happened. I guess technically getting Mjolnir too couldn't hurt. Since it does give me some damage and attack speed. But I mostly just need levels because apparently PL is somehow 18 for whatever reason. Which I don't feel like it makes any sense how, but then again, we've mostly been pushing towers, and I think he's been kind of farming on his own.
'Tis your honor. Prostrate yourself.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
All we really need are any minions in the base, and that's it. Just pushes me forward. Man, they're just buying back left and right, aren't they? I guess I'd be probably better off just getting a BKB, really. Because that entire time I was mostly just slowed or stunned for the most part by magic damage.
Bottom tower is under attack.
But part of their base is gone and they only got one tower right now, so just need to push bot and that should be it.
Keep your thoughts to yourself. I'm always at my best.
Still find it annoying PL got so high, but I guess he's been able to survive and get some kills from us.
Questionable. By my decree.
That was a weird hiccup. But my ping is a bit high right now, with it being at 90.
Is here.
Usually if you can, you'd want it to be at least 60 or 30
You are in my
for the most part.
So what if I swing? 'Tis on.
I guess I'll should come over and tank this. Or not.
Immortality.
We are in agreement.
Target practice paying off.
Take a knee, peasant. Moves of his own accord.
Yeah, for the most part it looks like Sniper's the one who's kind of taken most of the levels at least. And it looks like Alchemist was pushing this for a bit. Yeah, I guess since he's already picked up a Mjolnir, I should be probably just focusing on physical damage since he's doing most of the magic.
By my decree.
Since they already did their buybacks, but it looks like they're not quite done yet, are they? Yep. That's Sir Ted for you. All alone getting rampage.
I've got goosebumps.
So what if I swag?
Well, that was a pretty quick game though, that's for sure. I don't think it's 144, but I know it's a decent, strong monitor, but I don't think it's that high. I forget what I picked up now. I'd have to look at the, thing again, the guide or the instructions or whatever. But Yeah, I remember when looking up the Hertz stuff. And I can understand, you know, how important it is to have a decent, strong monitor for stuff like that. Since every little bit, every second counts, or every millisecond even counts. Well, yeah, sure. Trying to play it from 60 FPS to higher, you know, 120 FPS does, I'm sure, help a little bit. But I think it's very small increments really, because there's only so much human reaction speed can kind of handle. Sure, being able to see things fairly clearly and having a powerful machine does help a lot, you know, but like it's kind of like depending on what it is you're going for, and that just because you go for higher and higher speeds doesn't mean you'll see the same amount of improvements with each increase. You know, eventually you do reach a cap of human capacity. You know, so you shouldn't. So don't try and blow all your money on something unless you're fully committed to it. But even then, it's kind of like, you know, just work with what's in your budget and play with what you feel comfortable with. At least that's my opinion. You know, for the most part, having a powerful machine, you know, you kind of do have to have a certain level to be able to play competitive games out on a competitive level. But trying to get the latest, greatest high-end hardware doesn't really give you that much of an advantage over a pro. You know, because you even some pros out there will be playing with, you know, these old kind of run-down keyboards, but they're the keyboards that they first got that they've been playing with ever since, and it works just fine. So it matters as much as what the machine is how well you feel or have made it yours, really. And that, you know, you can adapt to what it is you're playing with. You don't need to have the latest, greatest to be able to play better than anyone else.
10 seconds remaining.
Money can only take you so far. That's kind of
5 seconds remaining.
what, if life has taught me plenty. Money can only take you so far in what it does. Well, let's see. So we got Shadow Shaman,
10
and we
seconds
got Lion, and we need another pick, but our support is currently out of it right now.
5 seconds remaining.
Does not help when one of our supports who normally picks doesn't, but oh well. So we'll see if anyone tries to counter me or not, or what they pick. For the most part, nothing too major. We just got two big pushers, Punga and, you know, Shadow Shaman, of course, with Underlord, who I think helps push as well, but
Your turn.
he's mostly there as a tank, usually, and a disabler. Oh, look, it's our old friend Voodoo Doctor. I think I'll probably pick up the Aghanim staff. That way, if he dies, then his ult keeps going. That was the fun thing I learned in that one. And I don't think they've patched that at all. Or they don't see that as an issue. So I'll make sure to pick up an Aghanim staff after I pick up at least an Echo Saber. Maybe I'll make that my third item. Third, maybe fourth. And we got it Slark.
Your turn to pick.
So PL would definitely be good here. I definitely would recommend PL. Since he's pretty strong against Slark, since if I remember, the root doesn't root him down anymore, so he can doppel out of that, I believe. this is likely going to be the team comp. Hopefully this sniper doesn't lose to Invoker like that sniper did in that one game I played. But yeah, I think getting a Aghanim staff wouldn't be bad for this team, since Lion and Voodoo would be big targets as well as Sniper in the back. That's kind of the big issue. Well, that's the big thing with Slark at least. Since they chose Slark, they definitely would wanted to counter Sniper here mid. Yeah, I guess, does Purunga pick up Blink Dagger at all? I wasn't sure if I would want to go Radiance or not for this game. I guess with Sniper here, we should try to go for first blood here, especially against our friend here. There we go. Just runs away like that. Sheesh. Oh well, he was probably worried about the double stun we have here. Which is understandable. Oh cool, and Lion got even a kill on Underlord. So, things looking pretty bright so far for our start, huh? I'm not even sure how that would have happened. Yeah, I guess if I get a Radiance, then it would help against Slark. Like, even if he Shadow Dances, he would still be taking damage. Which is kind of the big thing between, with that at least. Yeah, sadly my stun doesn't last long enough. That's the only... kind of do find that a bit annoying, but I guess they figured it was too powerful. Which is why they, you know, changed it so that now it's scaled from being a base 2 seconds to, you know, 1.1 and so on as you keep leveling up. Which I guess does make reasonable, because 2 seconds is a bit long for a level 1 stun. I mean, it looks like Voodoo's gonna pull, but it's a bit late for that if you ask me. I was tempted to, but I'd rather, you know, I want to save and stun just in case, but... yeah, there we go. Yeah, sadly, I don't have the speed. Darn. Really close there. Oh, I'll use up my potion here so I can have room. I'm still gonna like even though the Dota Plus recommends that, since I'm in offlane and being able to keep health up is pretty nice. And it's just one level. And of course the tower just keeps hitting me since all my creeps got pulled.
I walk among you. Submit to the Reed King's rule. Prostrate yourself.
Oh, he's dead. Wait, how did he die?
By any measure,
Damn it. I was really hoping I could have blocked him with the tree there. But apparently you really need to be really close to plant it at all, which is kind of annoying. Okay, this guy's getting way too cocky. I'm surprised he got that kill though. Because as long as Voodoo gets Maledict on you and you can do enough damage, you're kind of dead. And I'm getting some of the levels I needed too.
so what if I swagger? 'Tis your honor.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Who's in charge here?
I would have expected him to try and hold him down.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Keep your thoughts to yourself.
So he already picked up a ring,
Your bottom
and he's getting close to his boots.
Wise counsel. Give to your king. Be about
If I knew that's what he was gonna do, I would have used the stun on him instead for the extra damage on Maledict. But it's fine, we got plenty of mana still. There we go. Yeah, this Slark is getting a bit cocky if you ask me, but how many times he's died already, he's definitely asking for it.
behold the rain. War is torn. We are in agreement.
Yeah, right now I could use some mana, so I don't have to worry about my ult not going off or my stun here. Oh.
You have done the kingdom a service. I walk among you. Obey me. War is torn.
damn it. Because of my stun, it threw off. I thought I had enough mana, but apparently, oh yeah, because of the essence shift. Almost, but not quite yet. That's the only problem. I guess you forget that Essence Shift takes all your stats and that every little bit counts, especially for a hero that needs it to be able to use his stuff. Well, I didn't really need that right now, since I wasn't really missing that much. Oh good, he got mana boots. That always helps. Okay, so we got Sniper up top. He has enough for Assassinate. I'm just really glad that once, like, you know, after I die, all the essence shifts that I was affected by are just gone. So yeah, I think that's one of the advantages as Wraith King, at least. I find that kind of annoying. You actually see him. Yeah, everyone's here now. So, gotta get out of dodge. Yeah, as I said, I'm still wondering if I should pick up the Radiance or not. It would be, as I said, it would be good against Slark, since he normally doesn't pick up that. Darn it. Couldn't get my move off. But he's dead. And Sniper's probably gonna be dead here. Wow. That was so close. And I'm not sure why Slark didn't continue there. He would have killed him. There we go. Took us long enough to get him, but he is quite tanky. Yeah, after I get the... Nice. That's a good thing I took care of that ward. Yeah, well, that's always something to consider, but it's, for me at least, it seems it's more of a network problem, not just lowering my settings. Doesn't always solve the problem. Had almost no mana whatsoever. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just one of my network days where I don't have as much bandwidth for some reason or something. It's an issue that I seem to suffer from, but doesn't happen all the time. So that's kind of the issue. Just lowering my settings wouldn't solve the problem. Man, they're all bot.
Your middle tower is under
Now Slark. He was attacking our friend there. And Phantom's busy there, so I'll go. Let me go bot here, because there's a few here that might try to jump. We can at least take care of this. Well, he's pretty dead. Not really. You know, I know, like, I don't have horrible internet, because at least from what I remember. And of course there goes most of my mana. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty dead here. Yeah, I know it's one of those things, and I know my internet shouldn't be horrible, for at least from the network I should have, but it just seems to be an issue. You know, because I know, like, I've lowered my settings to 720. I don't think this is 1080. I forget if I have it at 1080 or not, but let me just double check here. Yeah, I actually have my thing set to 720p. Or at least that's what it should be outputting, not 1080. So I've kind of lowered it to the quality I feel like I should have it set, but my network for the most part just doesn't kind of want to, you know, work with me here sometimes. Darn it. I really hate Slark. He's getting big now. I would think most people would, you know, like, I guess I'm not sure what the general is, but most people I think do have 720/60, because that's kind of what most of my games usually are, you know, are playing at. Well, let me go ahead and push mid here since everyone's busy bot apparently.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack.
Okay, so Slark's down there right now. I can go top now to farm a little more. Well, yeah, we should have endgame as long as both you and PL get farm. Okay, it looks like they're all pushing bot. And apparently that wasn't a good teleport in, since they all just showed up like that. They must have smoked or something. Man, he really needs his Aghanim staff for the most part. And Sniper definitely needed a few more hits from him there, but oh well. Yeah, as I said, my network today is just not working with me, but it should hopefully resolve itself later on.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Oh, I didn't realize it worked on items too. Okay, PL, you really shouldn't be going in there without a bigger field and doppelganger, but I think, yeah, I think Slark got you with,
I can't hear you.
yeah, it looks like PL couldn't doppel because of Slark's root, or pounce. I'm not sure he needed to buy back there. And I'm pretty sure Lion should have been able to just one-hit Punga there. Damn it. Frickin' Invoker. Yeah, I think if someone needs to react faster, it's PL here. Since he can't do anything against the two roots both Underlord and Slark do apparently. I thought they made it so that he could get out of that though.
There are wraiths among you.
Well, at least I have a little bit more health now, and we killed Slark.
Who's in charge here? By any measure. War is
Freaking serious. Well, thankfully they were able to heal me there.
by my decree.
I really need my farm, but I can't seem to get it with how this team has kind of steamrolled us.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I thought I remember them changing that back, but apparently they've made it, or they changed it back or something, I'm not sure.
Your top shrine is under attack.
Slark does. Huh? Oh, they're pushing again.
Tis your honor.
There we go.
By my decree.
Yeah, tower-wise we should be fine.
Own accord.
Well, at least we were able to take Roche. But I would like to get my relic here just to get the radiance going. Damn it. Apparently we need a ward up there if we're gonna be dealing with this shit.
Your bottom shrine is under attack.
Well, apparently no one thought to take the shrines until now.
Your
But we do need some vision up top as well as over here in the forest. It might be better just to go with Aghanim's staff and forget the radiance for now.
is under attack. Your bottom shrine is under attack.
I don't think that's how it should work there. But yeah, actually, it's probably better to get the radiance, that way I have a better time farming against the waves here.
War is torn. Wraiths, your king is here. I'll consider it. Tisar!
Vodka really isn't the biggest problem, but we mostly just need a push because of Aegis and try and get some use out of it.
Your bottom shrine is under attack. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's courier has been killed.
Darn it. We are severely underfarmed. Yeah, Slark is kind of throwing it right now with how cocky he's gotten. Trying to initiate on us most of the time. I also think that stays a little bit too long, if you ask me.
By my decree. Wraiths, your king is here.
So we got most of them down right now.
Your king moves of his own accord. Behold the ring. What a treasure. I walk among you. All mine.
There we go.
By any measure. Tis I. Wise counsel. Who's in charge here?
There we go.
Tis your honor.
At least now with Radiance I can have a bit more impact on the field and hopefully stop anyone from blinking.
So what if I swagger? I'll consider it.
So yeah, we have Underlord bot, we have 2 mid. Yeah, looks like Invoker does have Blink Dagger, so it's a good thing I at least picked that up, and I can do some damage to Slark at least now with just me standing around.
I'll consider it. Tis your honor. Prostrate yourself. I want it all. By my crown. We are in a by any measure. Questionable.
Yeah, Slark normally doesn't get an MKB, so we shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to worry about him trying to, you know, have that just to deal with Radiance.
Your king moves of his own accord. So what if I
Oh, good! I can finally pick up this. This is getting good.
you thought to tame the lion? Come, let's
I can keep Tosh top pushed.
I walk among you. Wise counsel. Always at my best. Keep your thoughts
Coming
to
over.
yourself.
Your bottom barracks are under attack.
Tis I.
Man, why hasn't he gotten his stuff yet? You can get a Manta Blade right now. PL, buy your stuff.
Wraiths, your king is here. I'll consider it.
Get out.
Prostrate yourself.
That spot's awarded.
So what if I swagger? Charge here.
Not sure why I needed to buy something, but
We are in agreement. Your king moves of his
Your
own
top
accord.
shrine is under attack.
sadly we still have a bit more to go before we can
Your top shrine
win against them, since PL is still under-farmed. He doesn't have his heart, and he's still level 19.
Tis your honor.
Well, at least I have enough for buyback now.
Wise counsel. I'm always at my best.
Well, he's definitely pretty tanky, isn't he?
Behold the rain. Keep your thoughts to yourself. Questionable.
And of course all my mana was gone. Oh yeah, I forgot I don't need buyback. There's that. But I really need to heal now. And make sure I have enough for my next reincarnation.
There are wraiths among you.
Your bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Okay, that was a bit premature. Okay, I thought I was outside of that.
I'm always at my best. I decree. King is here. We are in agreement.
Yeah, we definitely could probably use with a push, but I'm pick up my item here and heal up.
What's a king without his scepter? Keep your thoughts to yourself.
Probably be good to pick up Black King Bar next now. Actually, I mostly just need a TP scroll just so I can get out.
So what if I swagger?
What? I need to stay. We have too much pushing in.
Charge here.
And we have a shaman here who can try to rat.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Wise counsel.
Oh well. I can send my units to take care of that, and I'll take care of top here.
Submit to the ring king. So what if I swagger? War is torn. As you advise. Who's in charge here?
Yeah, this has been a pretty crazy match so far. If I could have survived a little bit longer, I could have been able to come back with reincarnate.
What are you afraid of? Be about it.
Yeah, at least 3 of them are coming back, so.
Your king moves of his own accord. I am your
Technically with me, PL, and Sniper, we should be able to push all the lanes.
keep your thoughts to yourself.
How did that miss? Need to keep fighting all the creeps. Well, I have enough. I should be able to get BKB.
I'm always at my best. By my decree. War is torn.
What happened to your Mjolnir, dude? Damn it. All the crazy shit that was going on thanks to frickin' SS ratting us. Definitely could have used, like, I'm not sure what Sniper was thinking, selling his, you know, Mjolnir, or Maelstrom. Let's see, where was it? Because I know, yeah, he had it at 17 minutes. And for some reason he sold it. But yeah, I'm not sure what Sniper was thinking getting rid of that, really, and selling it for something else, because with all the creep waves we were dealing with, he needed speed more than anything. He didn't need more damage. Man. Oh well. Well, it seems drop frames have stopped for a while now, but I think that's about it for today's stream. Sorry for cutting it short, but, you know, drop frames and all that, and maybe, hopefully it should be better tomorrow. So, thanks for watching today and seeing how things are going. We got a few interesting games, got a few wins, a few losses. It happens. And, so, oh yeah, so pretty much thanks for joining me. Hope to see you again next time, and until then, have fun gaming, and also as a shout out to Stan Lee and his passing, excelsior!